Oh, good. That means you can hear me. Excellent. I'm Heather Lyons. I'm the Executive Director of the Living Arts and Science Center, and I am so delighted to welcome you here today on this really beautiful day that marks such an important milestone in the Living Arts and Science Center's history. I want to first welcome some of our special guests, Senator Reggie Thomas, Mayor Jim Gray, Vice Mayor and longtime neighbor of the Living Arts and Science Center, Steve Kay, Commissioner Ford, and Mr. and Mrs. Will Farish, who have been so supportive of the Living Arts and Science Center for over 25 years. And we are so delighted to announce that we'll have the honor of naming our planetarium the William Stamps Farish Fund Planetarium in recognition of their support. And I thank you all, our friends, our supporters, Living Arts and Science Center members, student alumni, neighbors, and family members, and staff, who have all played such an important part of this project and in bringing us here today. I'm really honored that you have all taken the time to join us and to support the project that hundreds of people have contributed to the success. I thank you all for sharing this really special day with us. As many of you know, this day marks a celebration of many things and traces a remarkable journey that began about 8 years ago when our board of directors and staff determined that we needed to address the needs of our rapidly expanding programs and audiences at the Living Arts and Science Center. And today we're celebrating the vision, the courage, and the resolve that launched that journey. But today we're also celebrating the Living Arts and Science Center's now 48 years in Lexington, 45 of those years in this very same home, the beautiful Kincaid House in Lexington's East End, formerly known as Kincaid Town. We are celebrating the hundreds of teachers and staff members over the years who built this organization and whose excellent programs and services to education, to children and families, and to social service agencies necessitated the need for expansion. We're celebrating the hundreds of thousands of children and adults who over these 48 years had opportunity and access to creative arts and science education at our own facility and in schools and libraries throughout the community and now throughout the state. We're celebrating the over 400 private contributors to the Capital Campaign who understood the need and who shared the vision to ensure that all children and families should have equal educational opportunities and that the Living Arts and Science Center was an important and valued creative catalyst for the arts and sciences. We're celebrating the inspiring and elegant design created by the De Leon and Primer Architecture Workshop, who respected this historic house and neighborhood and joined it so beautifully with our contemporary needs for expansion. And we're celebrating our builders, Birchfield and Thomas, and our wonderful construction manager, Bill Brown, for bringing the design to reality and for being so personally invested in what they were and are creating for the community. We're celebrating the many new gifts to the community that will result from the new and restored spaces. And though there's still some finishing touches to be finalized, we were committed to staying open throughout the entire project and in sharing the whole process with the community. Following the ceremony, you'll have the opportunity to tour the buildings and enjoy a sampling of what has been completed and some things that are still to come. Today, I'm grateful for and celebrating wonderful community volunteers who serve as our board of directors and who have led the way to this exciting culmination. It's now my privilege to introduce Paige Bensing, a 6-year member of our board of directors and now current president of the board. Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here today. It is with great pleasure that I welcome you to the newly renovated and expanded Living Arts and Science Center for our grand reopening and on behalf of the entire board of directors. For the past 6 years, We have planned, fundraised, worked, and adapted continuously to build this incredible facility with a focus on how we can better serve the neighborhood, city, and state. We are incredibly grateful to the outpouring of community support that we have found along the way, and I want to take a moment to thank the past members of the board, as well as current members, for all their leadership, vision, and support throughout this project. This also would not have happened without the dedication of the Living Arts and Science Center Executive Director, Heather Lyons, and her staff, who have gone above and beyond and are always working tirelessly towards our mission. The Living Arts and Science Center means so much to everyone, and today I'm delighted to introduce Jade Finley, a current LASC student volunteer and Bryan Station High School sophomore. Jade will be reading excerpts from poems that were written by a former LASC student, Chris Green, about his cherished memories and experiences at the Living Arts and Science Center. Mr. Green has served as a teacher for at-risk and underserved youth for many years and is now the director of the Appalachian Center at Berea College. Please welcome Jade Finley.
Good morning. The Living Arts, Part 1. We are all looking, all trying to figure out, returning decades later, the street we named Walnut to Martin Luther King. I am looking for the building I drip within, the warming windows, and the long wood staircase climbing into the reaches, the front room's dress with 1,000 pictures, red smelling paint-coated fingers, dark spirals of string, colors rubbed thick on construction paper, burst through every surface. Art waited there, coiled in its magic layer. Part 2. There are images we keep, more real than any admit. I find a monster's face, folded in a tattered file. It survived all my moves. I was a little Jackie Paper who grew and drew dreams under the care of nameless teachers. Once Mom rode away on top her grumbling elephant car, arrested on an island molded by a stone wall. Its trees loomed large in my mind as I climbed steps toward the dry blue smell of paint. I remember no other children's faces, no talk, only the presence of working hands, of developing pictures in the dark. I scratched my monsters from goo, coated paper with the nail. Dragons opened spin wings and looked out on the world. The monsters glimmered red, fire spouted from their shoulders, and afterwards, pain in hand, peering down the long drive, I waited to show Mom what she had left me to find. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jade. Jade started here as a student when she was about 5 and has been a student here for all of these years and is now also a volunteer in our classes. And we really value her, and she is part of the LASC family, so thank you. I want to take a moment to acknowledge a very important person who has been so important to this campaign and to what has occurred here today, and that is Harriet Dupree Bradley, our Capital Campaign Chair. Oh. She has a very long term involvement with the center, was a student here as a child and grew up here, involved her own family, and then came on board when she heard first from Gloria Singletary what we were proposing to do, and stepped in to be part of it. And when she stepped in full force. And I so appreciate just the commitment that she has to the center and to seeing this come to realization. And she's just a joy and a pleasure, and I really thank you so much for being involved and for helping us get here today. Okay. I want to also acknowledge many supporters of the Capitol campaign, folks who helped us meet our first Lucille Cottle Little $1 million match in the very early days when we were just putting out an idea. And many folks jumped on board and helped us do that, which turned it into a real campaign. And many other supporters, some of whom you'll see names when you come in the building, where we've been able to recognize their contributions to this building, individuals, companies, foundations, and they've all been such an important part. It takes so many people to make this a reality. So I thank them all on behalf of Harriet and our board and our staff for the many years of support to bring us to this point. Next, I want to introduce our Senator Thomas, who has been such a great advocate and supporter for the Living Arts and Science Center and a great leader in our state. He grew up in Lexington, has spent his life devoted to improving our city and the state, and serves on the Senate's Education Committee and the Economic Development, Tourism, and Labor Committee, among many others. Please welcome Senator Reggie Thomas. Thank you so much.
Heather, thank you very much. And let me say that this is truly a wonderful and significant celebration of what the Living Arts and Science Center has meant to this community for a number of years. What I'm most honored about today is the fact that the Living Arts and Science Center stayed true to its roots. Often when we grow and expand, we want to move, only to find out that the grass is really not greener on the other side. And by staying home today, it will continue its mission of enriching the lives of so many young people who come here to understand the world beyond them, to understand that they can mold things out of clay that has utility to their lives, to understand the vast amount of creatures that exist and make up this beautiful earth. I am very pleased that you stayed home, Heather, and that this facility will continue to live as the Living Arts and Science Center and continue to enrich the lives of our young people, of the people of this community right here, of the city of Lexington and the state of Kentucky. This is indeed a wonderful celebration. Thank you very much, Heather.
Thank you. And I'm looking in the crowd for Andrea, who will keep me on task and tell me what's next. All right. Well, I want to next introduce Mayor Jim Gray, who was from the very beginning, when we first had an inkling of this project, we approached him and told him what we were thinking of doing. And from the very first meeting, he has been nothing but enthusiastic and supportive of what we have wanted to do. And as we have kept him involved and shown him the drawings along the way, it has been truly wonderful to have so much support in the leadership of our city, and to see how he also envisions the role that the Living Arts and Science Center plays here in our community. So I am so honored that he is able to be here with us today. He was here for our groundbreaking, and thank you so much, Mayor Jim Gray.
Thank you. Big hug. Oh my goodness, wow. You all are very wise there, Ambassador and Ms. Ferris. They got, everybody else is in the shade. And but this is when I think about a day like this, it's so inspirational. It's just a day that is crowding the winner's circle in so many ways. And Reggie, Senator Thomas, you did such a remarkable job just now of describing how staying right here in the neighborhood. And Ambassador and Ms. Farish, I think that when Heather mentioned Gloria Singletary, I think Gloria would be having a sparkle in her eye in a very big way today because of her early involvement and her imagination for what this could become. When Heather mentioned that when they first visited the mayor's office and the principals from De Leon and Primer who are here today, you guys showed me and others the design for this project. And, I just had cold chills pretty much because it represents such imagination and such inspiration from the architectural point of view, from the urban planning point of view. And I said to the ambassador earlier that his hometown is Houston. I think I'm correct on that. Although you've adopted Lexington now, we understand that and we appreciate that. But in Houston, there's the Demonil Collection, which is an extraordinary art museum, contemporary art. But it was positioned by Renzo Piano, an extraordinary architect. It was positioned in an existing neighborhood in Houston, and it was done in a really remarkable way. And I don't know whether it was the inspiration for this project or not, but when I look at it today, and I look at the outcomes of this project and the way that a wonderful and extraordinary an example of traditional architecture has been integrated then with a neighborhood and with an extraordinary piece of contemporary architecture in a most remarkable way. This is the sort of thing that will last for lifetimes, for generations, literally for centuries. And so for everyone involved in this project, and so many of you here involved, and all those 400, it really does illustrate when if you build it, they will come, but even more, when you design it, they will come. And that's what happened here. So my job really today was really to do a proclamation. That's what mayors really customarily do, and I will follow suit on that. And I am going to read the proclamation. It says, Living Arts and Science Center Day. I, Jim Gray, as mayor of Lexington, in recognition of the Living Arts and Science Center, the place where creativity grows, do hereby proclaim April 18, 2016 as Living Arts and Science Center Day in celebration of the center's grand reopening. So this is the Living Arts and Science Day. Thank you. And I should have said at the very beginning, I am doing this on behalf of the city, and our Vice Mayor Steve Kay is here, and our council member James Brown. I know he's here, but he is in the shade. He is being he's right over here in the shade. But I think they're part of the ribbon cutting. So thank you all so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That's lovely. Appreciate that. Well, now we get to move on to the official cutting of the ribbon. And I'm so pleased today. The center does a number of programs in the community, and a couple of the ones that we are involved with, one is called Science Explorers, and it's a program that we provide in 5 elementary schools, an after-school program in the fall and in the spring. And we have Science Explorers students here from William Wells Brown Elementary. And we also do an Art Explorers program at William Wells Brown and at Lexington Traditional Magnet School. And we have students here involved with the Art Explorers program from Lexington Traditional Magnet School, which is, for those of you who may not know, is just a block from here, and William Wells Brown is about 4 to 5 blocks from here. So they're 2 of our neighborhood schools that we love working with. So we've asked them to join us for this ribbon cutting. And okay. And are we ready? The official cutting, and go. 2, 3.